Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for August 23rd through the 29th of 2020. So if you catch this early enough, I wanted to let you know that Shanta is doing her last Saturday free activations on Zoom this Saturday, August 22nd at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is 2 p.m. Eastern. It's not the last one forever, but she is making her big move from Mount Shasta to Martha's Vineyard. And we want to support her move energetically as well as with donations if you can. Also, my free seasonal circle is underway, and we are trying out the new technology for those of you who like to access your class materials on your phone. That is much easier now than ever before. Each week, you'll receive an email reminder that goodies have been uploaded, and then you can pick any day of the week that works for you to check in with your soul work. This season, August 1st through September 22nd, is all about self-love and self-care, and Dolphin and Spider are our guides for this 6-week period. I hope to launch this new offering at December solstice. For now, it's free for volunteers willing to help me iron out all the kinks with the new technology before I offer it to the world. So I'm very grateful for the 42 of you who have already signed up. This is finally a platform where I can actually serve bigger numbers like that. I am an analog girl in a digital world, so I've done a lot of work manually over the last 25 years, but I'm excited about the new creative possibilities this is opening up for me too. For example, I created a 10-minute video with Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, as our guide. And it was just a fun little creative project that I want to do more of, so let me know if you like it. And our forecast kicks off on the 24th, which is Monday, with Mars squaring off with Saturn. So here's the big one of the week, and is pretty much the inspiration for the quote at the top. The warrior in us knows that wounds come as a result of our battles in life. Grapple with their meaning, then harvest their wisdom and move past them to become the hero or heroine of your own story. Deep breath. This is what Mars retrograde is gifting us all with. An ability to reset ourselves. Aries is a reset of all 12, which resets our social collective realms. This 3 times over, it's going to do with Saturn, has to do with our reality and then us as an individual. You know, how are we defining our terms? How do we want to live it? Who are we? What do we want? Mars is stirring all that up. And at the same time, in a square, it causes, Mars wants to move and Saturn wants to slow down. So there's this, it's like having your foot on both the brake and the gas pedal at the same time. It doesn't work and it burns out the engine. So we don't want to do it that way. It's good for other things, but it's not going to be good for choices and movement and decisions in the world that you're not really solid and clear on. So this is the energy of action being restricted and the anger or frustration that follows. You can either be angry and feel restricted, limited, and unable to move, or you can see this energy as an opportunity to define the right actions to take and strategically plan to take them when the universe is more supportive. That's basically in the new year. Once Mars goes forward and Saturn's had its annual retrograde, it's finishing up in Capricorn right now before it moves all the way into Aquarius. That's going to be huge. This energy requires us to slow down and double check the plan. If you proceed consciously, your plan has a better chance of success than if you were reckless and impatient. You may experience a blockage of some sort, internal or external. You may feel this tremendous urge to change or move forward in your life, but seem to find blockages and limitations with every effort. That is likely your perception. So ask yourself if you feel inadequate to the task at hand. What are you afraid of? Remember that fear is false evidence appearing real. Release fear and choose to be responsible for creating your own life. If you don't, your outer circumstance only becomes a reflection of your inner belief. You will attract criticism and repel support. Take your grand vision and figure out 3 small steps you can take on this restricted level that is taking you in the direction of your goal. Don't try to initiate it this time. This is a time for cultivating, planning, working behind the scenes, doing the detail work and foundational work, which is often known as the grunt work, but it's necessary to support the grand vision when the time comes to fully express it, okay? So overall, this is a reorganization of who we are and what we want because it's the Mars retrograde that's kind of rare. It only happens every 2 years, and last time it happened in Aries was 1988. So between 88 and now, it's run through all 12 signs, all 12 lessons. Mars, the sacred masculine within us, has gotten to express through all 12 possibilities, and now it's initiating anew. What's brilliant about this timing is that Chiron is there in Aries at the same time, so we get to heal the sacred masculine in a way that's not ever been available at the same time or lined up this perfectly. So use it for what it's good for, which is focusing on you, the individual. It's time to extricate ourselves from these kind of virtual realities that are toxic and make us sick and get into our real individual reality and define our terms and then choose our cohorts, choose our teams, choose our communities, choose our families. And that makes it a little bit easier to navigate. But there's going to be no movement for the rest of 2020 in that way. Nothing new anyway. It's going to be a lot of clean up the old energy that is available for us. And I forgot to mention the dates. It's happening 3 times over with Mars and Saturn, so you want to be aware because the energy does intensify on the way to the date as it leads up to the date, and then it kind of wanes a little bit after. So August 24th, first hit, Mars is going to go backwards, hit it again September 29th, and then go forward and hit it a final time January 13th of 2021. So you see how we're not out of the zone. I'm really looking at spring equinox of 21, brand spanking new beginning. Everybody just get ready. Just clean your house. Set your foundation. Get yourself in order so that you can choose wisely when new choices are available. See, that's the challenge of doing anything right now, is we could set up all kinds of things right now and it's just going to change again in January. It's going to change again by spring. So we might as well just clear out the past and keep doing the planning strategy that Saturn, feeling restricted or doing its annual retrograde, even helps us with. You know, it's actually helpful. But Mars wants to do things a certain way, and when it is a square, it's a challenge to grow. It pushes us out of our comfort zone. We can't really postpone this one. And that's normally what we would want to do, and normally we might even be able to do it, but we're not going to be able to do it now. So it's better to look in the mirror and get clear about who you are and what you want so that you can look around your reality and see what your resources really are, and then you know what you're working with. Again, this is kind of pre-harvest time, so it's what do you have and what do you need? Let's do some assessments. And this week is really good for it. The Mars activation is the hardest one. The rest are blessings from Mercury, which means because of we're done with the Mercury retrograde and the Venus retrograde, I think a lot of things are coming into clarity now about what we really think and what we really believe. At the same time, Venus is opposite Jupiter this week, which is a mixed blessing. In general, it's good. But anytime Jupiter's involved, we got to watch the excesses in any direction. But these are the two benefactors coming together, which means even if it is challenging, on the other side of it, we're better off. So the one after Mars is the 25th, which is Tuesday, Mercury trine Uranus. This activation gives you access to your higher mind and opens the way for new, deeper insights that can guide and direct you at this time. Business as usual will not work. We know this. It's time to open up to the unusual. Do something different. Look at things from another angle and watch the ahas start pouring in. Your intuition will be firing on all cylinders, giving you access to unprecedented clarity. While your thinking may lack discipline, your ability to access solutions to any recent or long-standing challenges may be off the charts. This energy will not be contained. Even though it is generally all mental, you really will have a hard time keeping up with the ideas, thoughts, concepts, and intuitions that come to you under this influence. So try to take notes that you can refer to later when the grounding will be necessary. Pay attention to the messages that come through and from others as well, since you never know how the universe will show up to communicate with you. This alone is an indication that whatever your consciousness may not have been previously ready to assimilate or process is awakening now to that which is just for you, okay? Uranus inspires our individuality at its core. It settles for no imitations. And Mercury's your own mind and consciousness. So This is an ability to really make some sense of things that ain't made no sense in a while. Let's just put it that way. Same day, 25th is Tuesday, Venus opposed Jupiter. This is a great energy for enjoying nature, really good food and drink, fun company, and lots of laughter. It is a celebratory energy to be enjoyed, but not to excess or to the neglect of your health or well-being. It's very creative and activates the true inner artist within all of us. It's also good to consider that you are at a midpoint in a relationship or creative project that you started about 6 months ago. Is it still viable? Is the story you're telling still true? Where's the value? Is it worth it? So whether you are an artist or not, this activation can facilitate an infinitely creative mood and expand your individual work immensely. Activate your imagination, think big, have fun, and laugh today. But tomorrow, plan to start moving in a new direction that is more authentic for you personally. So I love this. Uranus is going to wake it up, and Jupiter is going to illuminate it so that you can see how your story is unfolding at this moment and make some adjustments, because you always hear me say at the midpoint, best course correcting time. So anything going on in your love, money, or magnetics, your relationships or finances, your values or priorities, all of Venus's realm, who's in Cancer, stirring it up, opposite Jupiter in Capricorn. So this is powerful, and Jupiter in Capricorn is only every 12 years. So that's a huge infusion of possibility for us all to learn from this Jupiter in Capricorn, like I said, only once in 12 years. Then the 27th, which is Thursday, Venus is going to trine Neptune, another good one for artists. This is a very supportive energy for dreaming your world into being. Allow your imagination some latitude to wander and see where it leads. Play with what-if scenarios. For example, what if all your material needs and desires were taken care of? What would you dedicate your time, energy, and resources to? You may be very empathic and connected to others and what they are going through at this time, so maintain adequate boundaries. Neptune can activate a very spiritual encounter with another human being, friend, family, or lover, but only time will tell if it is Neptune playing tricks on you or if it is truly a spiritual connection. So ease and grace, again with the artistic leanings, all really good for this one. So I, for one, have been inviting my poetry back. If I come up with anything worthy of sharing, I will. But if you don't even consider yourself an artist, this is the time to kind of play and get creative and figure out where that part of you lives and feed it a little something. The 29th is Saturday when Mercury trines Jupiter. Now, this may be when we get our big ideas by the end of the week. This energy is great for expanding your mind, learning something new, or taking a class. It's time to plan for the future and start getting organized. However, you may feel less disciplined and more creative, which is fine in the beginning, but eventually focus and discipline will have to be engaged to ground your new ideas, thoughts, or concepts. You have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? If you are self-aware, awake, and alert, you will be able to see and seize the opportunities as they present themselves. It may appear to be luck, but it's really more that you were in alignment with the cosmos, present and positive, and ultimately able to trust and follow your own instincts. Practice, there is no perfection. Being optimistic and looking for opportunity in every experience will magnetize the positive and naturally repel the negative, leading right where you want to be. Take advantage of this good energy to connect to whatever it is that you are trying to create in your life at this time. So, powerful week to shift our consciousness and our values and dig in on some of the things in our inner warrior, our inner independent spirit. You know, that selfish part of us that needs to shift from selfish to self-preservation. There is a difference. And with Chiron and Aries, it's forcing us all to really look at our wounds and see what's you and what have you picked up from other people. So the cleansing, clearing, releasing that Mars retrograde in Aries is good for is, again, probably another 25, 30-year flush. I mean, 1988, that's 30 years. So this is a powerful reset that we have access to. So don't let the frustrating nature of limited actions or limited choices at this time keep you, let's say, from looking in the mirror and dealing with your own closets and drawers and environment where you need to clean up and simplify anyway, because nothing new can come in while we're full of all this other stuff or the past. So I feel really strongly that that's what the Saturn dipping back into Capricorn for the last time in 28 years. See, there's another close to 30. That's going to be another reset that sets us up for the future. But none of this really kicks in until the new year. So it is about clearing things that might trip you up or weigh you down in the future. So be very mindful and discerning and discriminating with what you're choosing to carry with you into this new Aquarian age, because essentially this is our snapshot of what it can look like. And so we want to claim that positive vision of humanity rising up as individual souls with consciousness that create a mass consciousness that respects Mother Earth and respects life in general and is not so death-oriented like patriarchy. And so we're getting lots of second chances this year, y'all. I want you to tune into that. And don't forget about the miracles that are possible, even as dire as things look around us and as crazy as whatever this upcoming election is going to do to us, whatever that's going to be. We got to hold the vision for the light to come out of this. We're claiming a new vision. And so this election might go left, but 2024 looks really, really promising. So we have to just navigate through some of this chaos. And some of that might entail pulling back into your individual base and just kind of simplifying for a little while until certain things shake out. And then you can make moves with more ease and grace. But right now, self-preservation is definitely at the top of the list. And it all, let's say, lies on that foundation of who you are and what you want at the core and in your heart. So let's stay heart-centered. As I record this, it's still Leo time, but Saturday, the 22nd, Sun will move into Virgo and the energies will shift. Mercury's already there as of the 19th. So this is where we can really start to process and integrate everything that we've learned in 2020 into something practical and applicable, something that we can apply as wisdom in our day-to-day now, because we've learned something this year. We've learned something. We've learned something about ourselves and each other and the world and the earth and how resilient and brilliant and amazing she is. We are built in the image of. So trust that. Trust that you are a regenerative creature. Trust that the life process is totally natural for you too. And that you've already died several deaths before you really leave this body. So trust in this year of utter transformation that can look pretty bleak at times. I get it. And let's send some angels to support that and those that are on the front lines of it, literally. And let's hold the light so that they can make their way back. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to off-road like that, but it's a powerful week, and I don't want you to miss the opportunities that it presents if you can get some time out. First quarter moon is going to be happening on Tuesday the 25th. That's like our first step from our Leo new moon wishes or intentions. And we go forward this month because that first quarter is actually in Sag, so it's the entree into the Virgo Pisces lunation coming next month. So this is good soul work to be doing if you got some time and energy to devote to it. And if not, circle back when you can. It's always better when your focus is there to really clarify who you are and what you want and get those ideas cooking. Take some artistic time too, don't forget that, and reach out if you need to. I'm still available. I am doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and I hope to have new things to share in the new year as well. But I'm riding it out. I'm not trying to force anything or speed anything up in any way, because that will just aggravate your soul, and who wants to sign up for that? We're not doing it that way. We're doing it the ease and grace. And a lot of it has to do with following your intuition at every turn and being in present moment and being okay in present moment, or let's say alert and awake in present moment, so that you can decide clearly. So there's lots of little maintenance things we can do to keep ourselves clear and awake. Let's work on that too. All right, y'all. Have a fantastic week. This is Kelly Beard signing off. Thanks for listening. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and I am so grateful for your time, energy, and support. Please share this with those you think would resonate and reach out if and when you need to. Kelly at KarmicTools.com. The goal of my weekly forecast is to alert you to the energies and activations that we're all experiencing and the possibilities for conscious co-creation as an individual. Awareness of the energies is the first key, but I invite you to take it to the next level by checking out my readings, telecircles, and subscriptions, which are all geared toward individual support that helps you understand your own unique blueprint. My specialty is cycles and patterns, and I love helping people figure out their own within the context of the social and collective rhythm. To some, working with their own cycles and patterns is a completely new and foreign concept. But there are many planetary cycles that coincide with natural life cycles that allow us to co-create in mystical as well as practical ways. I create custom tools that I have tried and tested myself for almost 40 years, and I do the work alongside my circle every time. So I hope you will reach out if you feel called to dive deeper into your own soul's natural rhythm. Talk to you soon. One love.